Yeah. See, we building something special straight from scratch. Always bringing awareness to you, cause we always got your back. Self-improvement is the emphasis, patience is an element. Now is the time for you to unlock your potential excellence.
One. We did it. We're here. We are here tonight. Where are we? Are you asking?
No
Ladies
one's asking.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 2 of Potential Excellence, and it's been a ride. It's been a wild journey. It's been a wild journey to get to this point right here. We've been on this journey for over a year now. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we had our hardworking days, our lazy days, but it all accumulated, culminated, big wordinated to this point right here for me to say to all the good people all around the world, you are tuning in, listening to, absorbing, consuming, retaining, eating, drinking, breathing, running. No, that doesn't make sense. Consuming again, the best podcast in the world today, and we are just getting started. Welcome to episode 18 of Unlocking Your Potential Excellence. Can I get a round of applause one time? Especially for that new intro opener, right? Right? You like that? You like that new intro?
7.6. 7.6.
So, okay. Once again, my name is Brian.
Oh, and my name is Tevin.
And this podcast is all about bringing awareness to various topics and issues to help guide and educate anyone and everyone on finding their potential to be excellent in this world. And we wouldn't be able to get through this episode if it wasn't for our lovely sponsors. No one. No one.
In due time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we do have a Patreon now. And then now, before we get into today's podcast, I'm just so excited. I must give a huge shout out to our lovely Patreon members. No one.
Yeah, it's work in progress.
Work in progress. See, I thought when we started season 2, we would get, a lot of people, Patreon members. I mean, we didn't make it.
But mans don't know.
Mans don't know. Now they do know. Know.
They know this episode.
So now they do know. Now you can go to patreon.podbean.com/U.Y.P.E and join the Patreon family. That is patreon.podbean.com/U.Y.P.E. You feel me? Do you feel me? Tevin, do you feel me? Well, your support for this brand fills us with a huge amount of happiness and gratitude. And for that, we at Potential Excellence thank you and love you for all the support and love you've been giving us for the past year, for the ups and the downs. But I'm telling you, season 2 content, we're going to be harder workers. We're going to be stronger workers. We're going to be doing everything we possibly can to deliver the right content to you each and every single week. But we can't even do that if we're all messed up inside in ourselves. So Tevin, I have one question for you. How are you?
Feeling a lot better. Had my wisdom teeth removed, all 4 of them, last week.
Wait, what?
Real G's move in silence like lasagna. I don't tell people my business.
Yo, this
stuff
guy
just happens.
This guy Tevin really gives me hope for people who can live life without posting everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, so my face was like twice the size. It was mad swollen. It was disgusting.
You better
I had to eat I have 2 pictures. I sent one to Jessica. She laughed at me, and then I got really self-conscious. Not showing anyone else those pictures.
Better show me too.
Should delete them actually.
No, you should show me.
But it was crazy. I've never seen my face look like that before because I've always had a skinny face. And I had to eat liquid food for 4 days, 4 or 5 days. Yeah, and then I still had to go through school even though I was suffering. But it is what it is.
Big motivation.
Nice. The worst part is that I couldn't work out. So I'm starting to work out, get back into working out again. So I couldn't work out for like 6 days. Because stitches get loosened when you move too much and things. But other than that, chilling.
So
On that up and coming modeling grind. But that's a story for another podcast.
I see you working.
I'm not anywhere with it yet. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that regarding your roses and your thorns, the good thing that happened to you recently, the bad thing happened to you recently. The good thing is that you're back on your grind for certain things. You're gonna get better. And your thorn would be that getting your wisdom teeth removed during the school semester was kind of a drag because you lost wisdom in your tooth. Therefore, no, knowledge.
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. I would have gave you a 2, but the segue was kind of smooth. Yeah.
Wait, that's a compliment. So I get a bad mark for getting a compliment?
No, but it was too obvious. Like it was a corny joke that everyone saw coming. It's trash. No ifs about it.
See, you know what? I don't like you, and we're just gonna move on to the next part of the podcast. No segue needed. So, Femps, what is your financial, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual saying? Financially, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Are you saving more than you spending? Are you getting money somehow? Are you making do with what you have? Or are you just spending on Amazon and Canada Post and I don't know
spending on Canada Post.
no, not
Well,
like
I guess if you're
yes on the stock market, bro.
Okay. I say that's a solid 2.87643.
Out of 3.
Yeah, out of 3. Yeah.
I use bare decimals. Emotional, you know what I mean? Season 2 now. You surrounding yourself with the right
Emotionally,
with the right people, or are they bringing
emotionally,
you down?
I think I'm doing better. That's like a 2.99876.4. Yeah, I feel like it's a 4.
I guess you got to cut some people off then. You feel me?
Yeah. Not an entire person, like
we're just like
1/16 of a person. You know what I mean?
So like a pound of flesh.
Yeah. That's a Merchant of Venice.
Yeah, you know, man. Big English, big book. Mentally.
Big Shakespeare.
Mentally, virtual learning, global pandemic, isolation, quarantining. What's going on in your mental, man? You're beating yourself up too much. You giving yourself too much negativity. You can't handle constructive criticism. What's going on?
But I want other people have to say, to be honest. I don't really listen to other people. But when it comes to myself, I criticize myself pretty heavily, but I wouldn't say it's too much. It's a healthy amount. Solid 2.9998763.
This guy, what?
Yeah.
Physically, skincare. You work out. I know you work out. So fitness care. You know what I mean? Clothing care. Everything that goes on your body care. What's going on with that?
Yeah, not too bad. Thinking about getting a new fit. Trying to think of like what color it would be and like how I would get the shoes to match it. But other than that, I'd say I'm doing pretty good. 2.99876. Yeah, out of 3.
Spiritual,
doing pretty good.
Optimistic for the future. What's going on?
Yeah, I would say I have a pretty good sense of faith, because that's what that is. Instead of saying optimistic for the future, you can just say faith. So there's a word for that. So I'd say it's a solid 2.9998798.
Oh, that was close. Let me just not even say anything, because I can't say anything about that, because you just asked me how am I doing? Roses and thorns, man. How have I been doing? How has Brian Osei-Boateng been doing? I have been swell and swole and swollen, because I am sore, I am beat up, I am exhausted, mentally, academically, might I add, might I say, should I say, autocorrect, typo, you feel me? I'm exhausted, man. I'm exhausted. School is crazy, and we're not even at final exams yet. Really trying to pour a lot of creative effort into making this season two brand, this revamped brand, really special. So that's a big rose, you know what I mean? Just like being busy with something new, something different again. Because like 2019 June, grade 12 semester was fun. It was new. And then first year, 2019 to 2020 was different and life changing. And now we're back to having both again. You know what I mean? Like before I was just focused on school, before I was just focusing on our extracurricular stuff. Now I'm kind of bringing those together, and it's very time consuming, very tiring, but it's very rewarding in the end. So I'm really getting like a thrill of being busy again. Thorn, I do miss a bit of sleep, quality sleep, but it's part of the grind. You feel me? So I
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
I don't really got that much thorns. Any thorns right now?
Many.
I'm grateful. Many. Okay.
You don't have that many. It's not
Oh,
much.
okay. Okay. Grammar police. But since you asked my fam started, let me just get right into it. Financially, well, man, I be broke. I do be broke. I do be broke out here.
Nah, you lying. You have a whole job.
Humble. People like you said, rappers moving
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's
lasagna.
okay.
I don't know, something with silence and lasagna. I got confused and I got hungry. Anyway, I've been good financially. I mean, I be doing my best to manage my expenses, save when I can. Cooking, living on my own got me to cook more and save me so much money than I realized, which is good. So that's like a 2.76 out of 3, 2.54 out of 3. Emotional friendships, relationships. How am I doing with that? Don't say no girlfriends because your boy's single. I
I
would,
ain't saying nothing.
but you're thinking it. If you were thinking it, then your afro was thinking it. Um, Emotional, I would say I am at a solid 2.94 out of 3 because I got some good friends, but yeah, I got some good friends. That's all I gotta say about that. Mentally, I've been good. You know what I mean? My mental strength, my mental toughness, my mental resilience has been tougher. I've come to the realization again that like everything that I go through is for a reason. So even though I'm beating myself up with school and extracurriculars, I know it's molding me to something better, something greater. You know what I mean? So you got to go through pain to get the gain. I'm gonna let you sit on that. So that's a 2.94 at 5 out of 3. Uh, Physically, slowly getting myself back into shape again. Fitness videos coming soon again. Um, I'm gonna start saving my money up so I can kind of upgrade my wardrobe a bit because I miss looking good. I miss taking pictures again. You feel me? I barely taken pictures in 2020. It's quite surprising. It's quite surprising. So it's nice to kind of have the ability to save up a bit of money to kind of start getting some new jogging pants, some new shirts, hopefully for the first time in ages, some new shoes, because I could really use some of that. So that's a good process that's starting. So that's like a 2.43 out of 3. And skincare, I'm working on that, man. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. My sister put me on. Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
bad.
Not, too close. Too close. Not yet.
I see progress.
See progress, man. I see progress, man. That's all you need. That's all you need is progress. Spiritually, my faith is really good right now. I'm really doing my best to stay grateful, to stay focused, to stay relaxed. I saw this one quote about how because I'm a man of God. You feel me? I'm a Christian. I'm a holy Christian. So like I I saw this quote and I related to it. It was just about how the reason why you're tired is because you are running so much to this and that and overstressing yourself about this and that when everything's in God's hands. Everything is in His control. So He will get you out of this struggle. That's why Tevin is always so calm all the time because he knew things are going to go according to plan. Not because he's just Tevin, but because he's just Tevin with faith. hopefully there's a difference. You feel me? So I have a lot of faith going on, and that's good. A lot of peace that's going on in my life, which is good. So that's
Valuable.
3 out of 3. And with all of the beauty of the threes and the femps and the season twos and the this and that, with that being said, Tevin, my dear friend, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. Today's podcast is all about finances and happiness. Are they connected? Are they not connected? Is money proportional to happiness? Is money inversely proportional to happiness? We'll find out. Okay, so Brian, you got a job. You're a man that's been quite experienced with a good amount of income, not the most amount of income, but a good amount of income for someone within your age bracket.
Here, that is
Because you've been working a lot of jobs, even though you've not had a lot of money in your savings because of several reasons.
okay. Don't bring out
You've
my
worked many
insecurities.
jobs. Hey, I'm talking. You've
Oh,
worked many jobs. Shout out to the keg.
I was there for 3 weeks.
Brian, do you believe that money is proportional to happiness? And by proportional, sir,
Elaborate.
I mean, is money directly connected to happiness in a positive way? As in, if money increases, does happiness increase? What do you think? What do you think?
I believe, and I swear I'm not dodging the question. Money isn't necessarily proportional to happiness, but it's most definitely proportional to living a more comfortable life, and a more comfortable life leads to a stronger happiness within thyself. Therefore,
Interesting.
exactly. So even though they say, oh, money is the root of all evil, money is not proportional to happiness, money is proportional to happiness, there's just two sides to this money coin. See what I did there? Anyway, basically,
Redundancy. Money, a coin is a form of money. You say two sides to this coin would have made your point.
see, it's season 2 now, so I'm not taking this anymore. You feel me? So my mental, my Madubal album mental laga is just too strong. You feel me? So I'm just gonna move on with this conversation. Anyway, so money leads you to a
This
more
guy.
comfortable life where you can feel a lot happier in the long run. Why? Because when you live a more comfortable life, you don't have to worry, aka stress, aka feel more negative energy and vibes that would lower your happiness state of mind. So therefore, you need to be able to come to the realization that if you have more money, then you're able to do things that you wouldn't necessarily do before. And that opportunity to do things that you haven't done before leads to excitement, adrenaline, and humans love to do something new all the time. That's why there's so much development going on in the world. The ability to do something new, or just go on some sort of adventure, again, something new overall, is what humans thrive off of. That's why the best conversations, the best experiences happen with human to human, with people, because humans together can do a lot of things that create unforgettable moments, and money can put humans in that position to create more unforgettable moments. So
I see.
even though money is like not like, if you have $1 billion but no friends, it will not feel the same. But you will be happier in other things if you had $0 and zero friends. So you are going to be happier with more money,
Okay.
but you just won't be at your maximum potential amount of happiness with just money alone. You will be
Okay. So what you're
yeah.
what you're arguing is to where you could achieve more happiness.
Yes.
And also you're also arguing towards the end that money does not increase your happiness as much as relationships do.
Yes.
Relationships with other people increase your happiness more than money, if by your assumption money increases your happiness at all.
Yes, that is why some people would literally, and I can, well, I don't have experience, so I can't relate exactly, but I can understand why some people would literally want to spend the whole day with their significant others, or even just their best friends, instead of working, right? Like, even though money, you got to make your money to pay bills and do all that good stuff, but people want to spend more time sometimes. It depends who you are. If you're a super introverted person, I don't know what to say, but honestly, like, people would love to spend more time with people, more times than to just make money and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I do want to challenge your
Challenge,
logic for a second.
challenge me.
I agree with you in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? But even in you used an extreme scenario in which someone that has no friends and a lot of money would be happier theoretically by your logic than someone that has no money and no friends.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Okay. You confused yourself with your own
Yeah.
scenario.
I was like, what is he talking about? Oh yeah, I said that.
I find that interesting, and in that extreme of a case where there's only two factors, I would kind of agree with you. Actually, no, I'm gonna take a step back and say I don't necessarily agree with you that one person would be happier than another. So one person's in a position to where they can strive for happiness,
Yes.
right? Because we've left a trading system, because that's why we use money. We use money to trade for goods of equal value.
Mm-hmm.
One that has a lot of money, even though they have no friends, they can use that money to try to do things that they feel like might give them the happiness that a real connection would give them,
Yep.
right?
The love.
So what they're doing with the person with what the money English, what the person with money is doing is not actually, trading in the money for happiness directly. They're trading the money in with things that they think might make them happy or they hope that might make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
I find that very interesting, and it's kind of a opposite to what you would expect from the direction that the world is going and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to, get rich. Everyone feels like if I simply have more money, my life would be a lot more enjoyable. It might be enjoyable depending on the person you are,
Mm-hmm.
because certain people, they find traveling enjoyable. Traveling is expensive. They
Yeah.
find shopping enjoyable. Shopping is expensive.
Yeah, you can say that again.
So money might free your options up to what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
But if you want genuine peace and happiness by itself, I don't think money is necessarily required, right? You
Oh
can
yeah.
find peace and happiness without money. And you see that in a lot of third world countries or
Oh
places,
yeah.
even within Canada, where people that are more rural, where people don't have access to as much money, yet they have happiness. And then you see celebrities who are just devastated.
Literally.
One that really touched me personally was Robin Williams.
Mm.
I did not expect that at all. That hit me in the chin. But that's just I could use that as an example of someone that financially perfectly fine. Never need to worry about finances again. His his catalog alone could have carried him for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just his voice and his catalog and his history of the work that he's done. Yet he found something missing. He found something missing that money couldn't buy, right?
Yep.
Because if money could buy it, I'm sure he would find a way to get it. So I want to ask you then, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
why do people, especially people within our age group, feel like money is everything?
I believe it all has to do with how everything is being exposed to us more than ever on an easier platter. Not a silver platter, but an easier platter. And what I mean by that is back then, I don't know all my history, so correct me if I'm wrong after the podcast, of course.
Oh,
It was a lot harder to find a certain job in something because there were limited options. The world wasn't as developed. Heck, like I have a job downstairs in my building. Back in a certain time period, that job wasn't available. First of all, the building wasn't available and the technology wasn't, because my job revolves around technology and administrative work. But if you scratch that technology part, do I have a job? No. So it's just the additional ways to make money, um, and how it's all being put out there, and how people have successful histories of being retired and a millionaire by the age of 26, 27, and finding loopholes to not always go through the school system, and making money off of you can literally make money off of selling your t-shirt on a random website and in less than like 30 minutes, you already have $10 to your name. So like the ability to have more money and to make more money and to get something is exponentially higher. And when a lot of things are exposed to humans, they like go crazy. Like they go so crazy. They're like, oh my gosh, there's so many options around me. I want to dive into it. I want to get really like, like invested into that time. Because like you see something that appeals to you, and not only do you see something that is appealing to you, you see a lot of options to attract and acquire the thing that is appealing to you. It's human nature. If you see a girl you like or a boy you like, but you also see 10 boys you like and 10 girls you like, you're going to go even crazier because it's something that it's like more appealing to you, and the quantity of it, not just the quality of it, but the quantity of it has exponentially increased. So the desire to have more money is just because of how more like options we have as teenagers to make money at this age. Heck, this is a form of income right now as 19-year-olds. This is a form of income. But even I can't remember exactly when YouTube started, but just actually any internet blogging or vlogging.
2007, 2008.
2007, right? So let's say 1988, this was impossible to do a YouTube channel to record two men speaking and make a buck from it, or even $2 or a lot of bucks. You feel me? This is basically what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of options for teenagers to make money. And on top of the fact that there's a lot of people having the opportunity to retire as a millionaire and push that incentive and talk about dropping out of school and or making money through school, and all these options are just all over the place, and teenagers love to have that like big life, because when you go through puberty, you go through big changes. You are exposed to different things as well. So like there's a lot of like internal subconscious things that go on when a human body develops. When you go through puberty, you also are exposed to not just things that intrigue you physically and emotionally, but there's also things that intrigue you in the career world. That because when you grow up, you think about what you want to do when you grow up, what kind of life do you want to live. But the one thing that you talk about, the one thing that you need is how much does it pay? Because some people don't even think about what they want to do when they grow up that makes them happy, but they just want to get money. They just want to get money. They want to go party. They want to have fun. They want to turn up. They want to go on vacations. They want to have the flashiest clothes. They want to look good for their friends, look good for their crush. So all of these little things of growing up in puberty, being exposed to different kinds of sources of income, and having all of these opportunities to retire as a millionaire at the age of 26, it's just so overly saturated to all teenagers on a minute to minute basis. You can't even blame them to like at least one of them teenagers to be invested into making money.
Mhm.
So it's good in a way where it gets young kids to really get off their butts and to make a dollar when their parents are working hard. So it helps supports the whole family and generational wealth. But it gets too much and way out of control when it kind of gets in the way of your character, and when it gets in the way of your character and it just messes up your whole foundation.
Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna take the question in a completely different direction. I'm not even gonna fully address it. You said what you said. Now, when I see a question like that, the answer is like not even that crazy. It's just like, why is money everything? Money's everything because that's what you need to trade in to acquire goods. Why do you need goods? You need goods to survive. It's that simple. Therefore, by extension, you need money to survive.
Yeah.
Then that's why money's everything. If you go back to a society in which livestock was everything before they had a formal sense of currency, stealing $10 from someone's like stealing someone's goat. You know what I mean? Actually, a goat is probably more valuable than $10 because a goat is you can make goat's milk, sell that. You can skin the goat, sell the leather. You can
Yup.
eat the meat that feeds your family, right? So instead of acquiring all of those resources individually, we could just get this one universal object we could trade in for multiple different resources.
Yes.
So that's why money is everything. I do, however, agree with you that because the ways in which you can get money has increased and the age of which you can start making a lot of money has decreased significantly thanks to technology.
Literally.
Money is money seems to be everything a lot more than it would have if we lived in a more rural climate. It's in our faces. And then that kind of ties into the next question is, why is it that people desire money so much? Well, I would say people desire money because they see it all the time in their faces through social media, through movies, through this, that, and the other. And you share about it through word of mouth. Back in the day, you'd see it through newspapers, whatever. And then you see all these people, some of them younger than you, some of them the same age, some of them a tiny bit older than you. You see all of them making money. And then, we're humans, we're jealous creatures. Our first thought is, why can't I make that much money? Like, why is that person better than me? Or do they deserve to have more money? What we don't see in turn is the flip side of that, how that person made that money. A lot of times people are very quick to say, oh, this successful billionaire dropped out of university, therefore university is unnecessary. It's like, it's a yes and a no. If you have the skill set that successful billionaire had at that age, then you don't need university to learn anything else. Just become the next, become the next Mark Zuckerberg and do something equally genius and you'll get paid. But not everyone is as equally genius. Therefore, you need to go through a schooling system. Or have some sort of formal education in order to increase the value of yourself so you can receive more value through money. A lot of people don't think about increasing their own value. Think about how can I just get money when it's not that simple. If it was that simple, everyone would have more money, the money would have no value. We would all be suffering.
People are focused on acquiring worth. No, I lied. People are so focused on acquiring their net worth or increasing their net worth instead of increasing their own worth. People don't acquire a stronger and a higher net worth because just they wanted money, but they increase their own worth, which allowed them to put them in more positions to acquire more money, to increase their net worth, and to get more money, to live a more comfortable life, etc., etc., etc.
For sure. But that's not oftentimes talked about, which is why a lot of people, especially within our age group, the late teens, early adulthood type of area, fall for the trap of, okay, this celebrity or this personality or influencer, I think is the word people use for people like that. This influencer making so much money, being so young, not going through all the struggling I'm going through, because school is a struggle.
It is a struggle.
And formal jobs that you don't personally enjoy are also a struggle. Why can't I be like that person? But let me just reiterate what you don't see the genius that person has for marketing, right? One famous example that's pretty easy to use is like, I'll use the Paul brothers. They started off as Viners, Logan and Jay Paul. Shout out to Jay, just on a boxing match.
Yeah.
Did not expect that outcome, but it happened. We move. They were able to transfer their fame from Vine into YouTube, right? And then from YouTube, they were to create a platform and gather a fan base. So when you have a fan base, enough people that believe in you, enough people that are willing to literally take money out of their pocket and give it to you, you then have power when it comes to dealing with brands, dealing with other situations, right? You could then throw that power you have built up from your platform around to be like, okay, I have this many people behind me. If you give me money to talk about your brand, this percentage of them will buy into your brand and you'll make more money. Right? That's how those type of brand deals work. And they were able to maneuver that when Vine got canceled, and they were able to build themselves back up in that sense. And then the foresight to get onto Vine early the way they did, right? And be like, okay, I'm gonna try to entertain a certain demographic, though that demographic may be children, and the jokes may be tasteless, they still make money off of it because they were able to have that foresight to plan ahead. People see that, try to do what they do, but they cut corners. They don't take time to try to be like, okay, what's my target audience? How am I going to entertain these people? I personally don't even know if they thought about it that deeply. But what I do know is that once they transferred it over to YouTube, they had to start thinking about it that deeply, because the competition right, exploded, and they didn't have that safety net that they had with Vine of like, okay, I can go through their Vine catalog and see they've done all of this. When they were just starting off on YouTube, they had to build themselves back up again, even though yes, they did have a boost from Vine. So is a lot of even seemingly simple ways to acquire income. There's always a catch, right? There's always some skill, whether it be a soft skill that's more conversational and social, or a hard skill like programming or anything like that. There's always a skill that you're equating, right? You're trading in to get value.
Yep. You got to speak a certain language to get the money.
Okay. Why is the lifestyle of celebrities, right, as we touched on before, are so desirable to the point where people become selfish and hateful, right? You know what I mean? Where they desire this life so much, right? And I don't even know if this is the direction the question meant to go in, but I'm gonna go in it anyway because a lot of hip hop artists have been dying on the streets, and it's pretty sad, right? I'm not gonna say any names because I'm not gonna front like I listened to their music before. I didn't. It's just people died. It's sad. But what would happen is they would start making a lot of money, get famous through rapping, and then yes, they grew up in a very dangerous environment, the hood, as the Caucasian man might call it. They were able to elevate themselves into a position where they do not need to live at that income level anymore. Yet they stayed in that environment because they had so much friends and family that they wanted to help other men get out of the hood, as a simple man might put it. So other people will then be jealous on what they have, right? And it often be your own people, right? In a sense of it would be people within their semi-close inner circle that would know where they would be at a certain time, and they would be the ones that would be behind these shootings, or it would be opposite gangs or sex, and that entire system is stupid, but whatever. So it's really just jealousy. I don't see any other way to answer this question. Human beings have always been pretty jealous creatures, I feel. And it's just, I see something. Okay, I compare myself to Brian, right? I feel like I'm better than Brian because, we're humans. We have our egos and yada, yada, yada. Yet Brian is making more money than me. I equate money to value, but I believe Brian has less value than me, right? He has more money than me, but I think I'm worth more. It's not consistent, right? There's a gap. And in order to try to bridge that gap in which I have what you have, I would then try to rob you. I then try to do you harm. I then try to, hate you, hop on Twitter real quick, tweet something hateful, try to get Brian canceled. And it's just jealousy, it's just boredom, and it's just wanting what somebody else has when you know that you don't have the skill set to attain it for yourself. Right? And that's all I think it is. Just foolishness.
Yeah. It's just it's just so weird how people be switching up on you so quickly.
Yeah.
Like it's an indirect feeling of like you want to see someone succeed, but you don't want them to succeed too much. Because the second you start to succeed too much, it's like, okay, this is cute and all, but you need to slow down. Because like we're trying to do our thing, and you looking all blah 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 makes us look all blah blah blah. Like you need to relax with this $1 million view YouTube, Patreon subscribing, sponsor adding, brand ambassadoring. You need to relax with all of that stuff. Okay, you need to slow down because the more you look good, the more it makes us look bad. And then the media is going to see you as the poster child for this part of the city. And then the media is going to display us as the hood, the ghetto, the trap, nasty place filled with minorities. And they're going to get a camera crew and shoot a whole setting of your documentary of us looking poor and broke and sad and all that stuff, while you are looking fabulous in your mansions and your rings and your jewelry, while we are looking poor and broke in the documentary. See how they just escalated? You see how I just phrased that sentence and it just...
You know what you remind me of?
Huh?
You remind me of a girl that's like at home, but her man's out partying, and she's just creating all these scenarios in her head, just driving herself crazy for no reason.
And that
It's just building and building and building. I'm like,
building
how
and
much do you
building.
have to hate someone to create that entire narrative? Like when you were going, I was impressed. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, are you just creating this on the spot? Like, how do you just build an entire narrative that doesn't exist in your head and attribute it to somebody else? And how does that narrative become powerful enough to where you then want to do bodily harm to the opposite person? Like, what? When does it stop becoming imaginary? And when does it become like, okay, I'm going to now pick up a gun and shoot someone? That doesn't make any sense. Like, the entire process makes no sense.
Like, I don't know everything and anything about anything. Like, I know nothing. I'm a.
We all know, you know nothing.
Okay, so see, you didn't have to like no. But the thing is, like, for you to feel so much pain to literally hurt someone aggressively when they're your own close friend, it's just beyond me.
Or your own kind. Like, even with the different gangs situation, y'all are both different gangs, sure, but y'all both struggling.
like,
Both of your areas are impoverished. Y'all both need to try to fix both your areas before you go look in another area. Like, I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
like, but like what you said is so true. You're like how you see someone with more money, and then that person, like what they do before, they just see money as value, and then they want to see that value, not see the value, they want to have that value, they want to cherish that value, and not only do they want that, they want more than you, because anything you can do, I can do better. Man, I see these people that I'm the exact same way. I'm trying to get into all these artistic, all these things. Heck, even podcasts, bro. I'd be seeing other podcasts, and I'm like, man, Tevin and I would do so much better in this with this guest. Man, if I was on that stage, I could do so much. Like, it's just that human nature, like,
I take it in a competitive way.
in a competitive way.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot nobody.
And I'm gonna be honest, they take it in a completely different competitive way. Heck, they're playing a whole different sport, a whole different game. And they get so greedy, like to the point, like you said, it's the whole narrative that just comes out of nowhere. It just blows up to a certain level that makes them so angry when people are at a certain level of financial success while they're not at that same financial success. Especially if they are making money doing what they love while people are seeing and being jealous of them because they are not doing what they love, nor do they have the confidence, nor do they have the work ethic, or nor do they have the resilience or the strength to put themselves in that position, which therefore allows them to what? Blame each other people. And that just sucks.
Yeah.
Terrible, and it's frustrating, especially when the famous celebrities actually come to help the
exactly
friend,
they're from that same area,
and the friend is kind of like, nah, you're just taking pity on me. It's like, man, like it's there's a reason why humans are literally the most dangerous animals on the planet.
yeah.
Like, bro, I'm not even gonna get into climate change and all that craziness, but it's true. Like, for reasons like this, like, this is the reason why the human race is going through so much pain, because of greed and jealousy and selfishness.
We're so overpowered that we have to kill each other. That's we have no other natural predators.
It's so frustrating.
I don't know what else is frustrating.
What's frustrating?
This ad that we're about to drop. That's frustrating. It's frustrating how much we're winning.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this.
It's a big segue, big transition.
And we're back. Hey, you been learning those TikTok dances I see. Damn.
No. It's called
it's a TikTok
the water ball challenge.
It's okay.
Ritual.
It's okay. You're
Try
on TikTok. It's fine. It's okay.
You can't say that because people say things about TikTok.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Even if you didn't, tough luck. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it.
Better enjoy the custom ad.
I enjoyed it.
We got no ad, so we have to make our own.
No, don't even talk. Shh. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, we did not have to create our own ad.
Yeah, we didn't create nothing, bro. That's
Those
an ad.
those are not us. That's not.
Yeah.
Those
We're up
people,
there now. We're improving. You know what I
those
mean?
people were not us. Those are paid actors that look like us.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
speaking of paid, why is it that people would even sacrifice loved ones as well just to get paid?
That is so crazy. A stepping stone scenario. That is so
Exactly. They
See,
would rather, sacrifice that personal connection, which we discussed earlier, increases happiness more than the opportunity that money provides, right? They'd rather sacrifice that for getting paid for, a quick buck, as the people would call it back in the day.
So have you watched, and not just Tevin, but the good people all around the world
What about the bad ones?
that are listening to this? Have you watched?
The bad ones.
Hmm?
What about the bad people?
Everyone's good people, right?
Continue.
that was I even paused like halfway. Everyone's good people. If you're watching this podcast, you're a good person. That's all I got.
Cap. Continue.
Missing the point. Have you watched The Lion King? Can I get a raise of hands if you watched The Lion King?
Continue.
Wait, what?
Continue.
So, for those who don't know what The Lion King is, it's basically a this and that with this and that kind of movie that's based on Hamlet. And basically, what I'm basically trying to get to this point before someone gets so very confused is that my boy Scar, who is the brother of the big king Mufasa. Scar is living in the mansion, in the big Pride Rock, in the big mansion, lying den, dome, home dome, super dome. So Scar is living lavish, but his brother is the top dog. So tell me how, I'm not going to spoil the movie for those who haven't watched it, but tell me how Scar be jealous of Mufasa, his own brother, his own kind. But you living in the mansion, in the big lion den. You live in lavish. You live in good. You're protected by the king of the jungle. Where's that Tarzan? The king of the what king of us?
The lions are called the king of the jungle, even though it's technically inaccurate. Blah blah blah. I think they really mean mountain lions because mountain lions / panthers, as some people would consider them, do live in jungles. The lions that we're talking about live in a safari, which is not a jungle, obviously, completely different terrain. But continue.
The point is, when you watch The Lion King, you'll understand. But again, I won't spoil it. Even though you live with your close friend that is, or a close brother or family member or whatever that is living lavish or living good, it will not change the internal jealousy that you have within because of what we said before of the narrative that you will display and tell on a daily basis. So what I'm basically trying to say right now is when you are so close to greatness and fame and money, and I'm just talking about proximity, not talent, you see things differently because not only are you telling a different not only are you telling like for other people from the previous questions, we were just telling that narrative for people who just saw it from a distance. Now you're in it. Now you're in the circle. Now you're watching your friend, your brother do his thing and show that he is the top dog. See your girl and see that she is the top girl. You feel me? So you know what it takes to be successful, but you can't do that. So it's one thing to see from a distance and see Tevin doing his thing, being a millionaire. I'm like, man, if I was in Tevin's position, I'll be so much better. Now I'm in Tevin's circle and I'm actually seeing Tevin do his thing. And Tevin gives me a business opportunity to finally showcase my skills, for me to finally get my big break, but I fail. So not only do I see Tevin succeeding and feel that jealousy, now I know for sure that if I was given that opportunity, I was put on with the right people, because when it comes to business, you gotta know your people, you feel me, to get those connections. Not only do I have connections, not only am I in the circle, not only was I given the opportunity by a big person, I failed. So now I know for sure I'm a failure. And the only person I'm blaming is not me for sure. Are you crazy? I'm blaming the guy who gave me the opportunity. I'm blaming the guy who put me in a circle. I'm blaming the guy that put me in a beautiful mansion, in a beautiful place. Why? I don't know, but I want to. And that narrative that people tell themselves is so ridiculous and crazy. And that basically proves the definition of keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. And in this case, it's not keep your friends close, but it's also keep your enemies of progress closer, or potential enemies of progress, you want to call it. That narrative that people tell themselves basically puts them uh, um, gives them the mindset to put them in a position to be closer to people that are in a big financial status, so they can literally leech off of them and they basically become an indirect gold digger. So they basically leech off of them, get all the money, get all the business opportunities, and as that narrative that they're telling themselves becomes more passionate, becomes more stronger, because everything is a muscle. So that narrative is a muscle. So every single time you're thinking about that narrative, you're strengthening that narrative. You're strengthening that muscle. You're strengthening that passion for that story you're trying to tell. So it just gets to a breaking point where you're like, I can't take this anymore. The second I see Tevin having an opportunity that I could take, I'm gonna screw him over. I'm gonna screw him over. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take what I want, what I feel I'm entitled to, but I don't deserve. So
Mhm.
that narrative just becomes it gets built up. It's built up. It just gets escalated and escalated and escalated. And you could just see, Scar and Lion King and many other people just get fed up with it and want to take what's theirs. So it's frustrating that people, and it's sad and very um I feel bad. I really do feel bad that they feel that so much pain for something that just wasn't theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you hit it. You were in your bag, bro. But look like you're about to start preaching for a second there. Let me calm down a bit. Um, but it's all just projection. A lot of the problems that people have stem from projection. A lot of that jealousy is you projecting yourself and being like, "Oh, I do not have this, right?
Yeah.
Why am I not in this position? And if I were in that position, as you're so rightly stating,
Mhm.
I would be better, you know."
One thought to pass through your brain.
Exactly. That's that one thought, and then it spirals as you're demonstrating a couple
Literally.
moments ago, and then you just become devoured by it. You just the thought of having more, right? It's not even necessarily the thought of having more. It's the constant reminder that you have less, right? Because it's the comparison. Because it's not even about you having more. It's about you comparing yourself to somebody else that has more than you,
Yep.
right? And then that's what spirals, and then that envelops somebody, develops their mind and their soul, and then they're just like, time to pull the nine and kill someone, take what they have. It gets violent, that's what I'm trying to say. It gets violent, it gets aggressive, it gets hateful, to a point where you don't even see your loved ones as loved ones anymore. An example of line that you were given before, which is based off of Hamlet, as you so rightly said. Shout out to English.
Savaji. English teacher.
She knows. She knows we said her name. She's aware of everything.
She's
Um,
so what? Sorry. Inside joke.
okay, but in that example you so rightly gave about Lion King, Scar, right? After he did what he did, he was then put in that position, and it still wasn't enough. It wasn't what he wanted, right? And why wasn't it what he wanted? Was it because maybe he didn't earn it, because he didn't deserve it, because the way in which he went about getting it, right, was not sustainable? And by sustainable, I mean he could not continue to support himself. Because when you build a rocky foundation, as like Scar did, and then you try to put yourself on top of it and build off of that, right? You can't stand, because then any other person could just come by and then do what you did to somebody else, because
Yep.
you're not planted, you don't have a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people, right, they're to the point where they don't even have the skill set to tear somebody else down. somebody like you see how Scar had to have intelligence to do what he did.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah,
doesn't even have the intelligence. You know what I mean?
gotta
So
tell
then they back up and do things that are even pettier, right? Do things that are even pettier, and then that's where you get the, the trolls on Twitter. You might
yes,
get these social media bullies, all that, right?
yes.
Because they know that if they were to pull out, they would get beat down.
I love that. That makes so much sense
But
because Scar had the intelligence to do what he
did
had to do to basically stab all his
100%.
loved ones in the back, right?
Yeah, but
But
remember what I was saying. He didn't perceive them as your loved ones anymore. What he perceived as his loved ones was the power that he wanted. That's what he loved. They were just in his way. They were obstacles. Who are these people?
in his
As
journey
you
to
said
get
before, they're just stepping stones.
yep. In his journey to get net worth, he forgot his own worth.
Exactly, and the worth of those around him.
Whoo! Yep.
Anyway, we're just in our bag. We're just doing what we do. It is what it is.
Like, come
Next
on.
question. Why aren't rich people happy? We touched on it before with Robin Williams, R.I.P., obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you believe that people, despite having, the quote unquote key to happiness, aren't happy?
Well, the easy one, just like what with every storyline, Scar included, that stabs a wealthy family member or friend at the back that gains their love, not love, but riches, I guess you could say. That way of getting in your bag, securing the financial bag, you feel me, or securing the powerful bag, you feel me, does not sit well with others because you took it a different approach. So that obviously does not allow you to acquire human to human or lion to lion love from others. So that's the obvious one. But with people who are entertaining the masses and talk show host after talk show after talk show, interview after interviews, millions of views, millions of dollars to their name, history makers. No one can ever do what they do in 10,000 lifetimes, but they're still not happy. And that kind of ties back what I said at the beginning of the podcast. The most unforgettable and favorable and best experiences you will have as a human being is with another human being. It doesn't always have to be another human being. Heck, it could be yourself. Some people who, bro, I'm a weird guy, bro. I can think, this brain can think for hours. That's why I love sleep, because if I have a dream, bro, I'm having the time of my life. My imagination goes crazy because I can have the most incredible time with dreams and all these crazy stuff. When I'm with my friends, crazy time. Family, crazy time. Future wife and kids, crazy time, right? I can do all these things with people that money could not provide. Just like what Tevin said earlier, you cannot fulfill or fill a void with money, but you can fill that void with people. And people, and surrounding yourself with a career. Actually, no, you already did that. That's what got you money. But again, people is like one of the things that allows you to really see something new and do something better. Because when you get money, it's like a one-off assignment. It's like a one-off lab report. Once you got it, you got it. You got $1 million. That's it. You got $1 billion. That's it. You got the car. You got the house. You paid off all your bills. Congratulations. You're done. Not like actually like really congratulations, but that's it. Like I don't know what you were expecting. Like you thought that's it. Like there's nothing else to do. But when you're with humans, today was fun. Tomorrow's gonna be better. And tomorrow's gonna be better after that, and better after that, and better after that, and better after that. Why do you think people are so miserable? Well, at least a lot more miserable during this global pandemic, not just because of all the craziness 2020 has brought us, but also the fact that we can't see people in person. I feel like a lot of people are suffering in virtual learning in school because they can't see people all the time. And people who have a lot of money are accomplished and are a lot more comfortable and happier in certain aspects because they don't have to worry about paying next month's rent or paying this expense, or if they get sick, do they have enough money for health bills or medical bills? Do they, if they broke their arm and they need to get surgery because they need to work, do they have the expenses for surgery? You know what I mean? Those like comfortable, quick cash type things for emergencies, they have that, so they can be happy and content with that. But everything else that gives them unforgettable, fulfilling experiences of joy and happy and peace, they need that from either themselves or from people. And those are the only things, or at least a pet, at least a pet. Those are the only things that can really allow you to really like have fun and live a life that will make you happy.
Yeah, it's just more so what we said before. And just reiterating that all money does is it buys you the opportunity to be happy. If you try to fill that void in your heart with money, you're gonna get an error message because you can't complete a circle hole. If you've ever been in kindergarten, you can't complete a circle hole with a square.
I tried.
It doesn't work.
I've tried.
It just doesn't fit. You can't complete a puzzle with a piece that is not from the same box. It doesn't fit. You know what I mean?
And it looks weird too.
So when you try to do that, there's still space, right? There's still room. You still feel like something's missing. You're trying to grasp for something, but there's nothing there. And that's all that these rich people are doing when they're depressed, is that they don't have a strong sense of what they need because they don't know what it is. And for different people, it's different things. And just because you have money, all that does is that it shifts the problems that you have. I think human beings generally have the same amount of problems, no matter what financial situation you have. Is we have different problems now.
Yep.
Because some problems are fixed, but money brings new problems all over again. Right? You then have to wonder, are you my friend because of the money? And if you are my friend because of the money, if I'm sad and I'm depressed and I want that deep interaction so I feel happy again, you're not there for me because you're just there for the peas. And the peas aren't there, you're not there. Right? So then I can't trust you. So then I have to go somewhere else. I have to go, party, go spend money to try to grasp for that interaction. But then I don't feel satisfied. Why don't I feel satisfied?
Yep.
Right? And then you're like, I just want to feel something. So then, some celebrities go to drugs. Let me do these drugs because when I'm high, I feel high. I feel something. So then they just keep escalating. And then it's like, I can't feel anything.
Oof.
I just want to feel something. You know what I feel? I feel pain.
Damn.
And you know what? I don't even want to feel pain no more.
I don't want to feel pain anymore.
I don't want to feel nothing no more. And bang, you off yourself. It's that. It just keeps building.
That's pro.
And you say, I've been a whole narrative.
And you say, I've been a whole narrative.
It's really that crazy. And it just keeps building. And then when you're rich and you have all these other distractions, because that's all life is, just a series of distractions and obstacles that we continually overcome from a day-to-day basis until we die. When you have all of those taken care of, you kind of peel back the curtain a bit and you're like, my life is really empty. Because all these distractions are gone. So I have to do something, right? I have to devote myself to something. And when that thing I've devoted myself to is gone, then my purpose is gone. And then it goes back in the same scenario I said before, and you just keep snowballing. So being rich doesn't even, as we keep saying, yes, opportunity, blah, blah, blah. I can fly to Dubai and I can try to search for happiness. You don't actually get any. It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent to winning a race, but there's no contestants, no crowd. All there is you running in a straight line and some yellow tape that signifies that you're at a finish line.
So practical.
There's not even anyone to give you a trophy because on the other side of the yellow tape, the trophy is just there sitting. You just pick it up and go home.
Yo, I would.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Like, why do I even do this? Why do I run the risk? It's the purpose of coming first. And then you turn around when you're on the way to the parking lot going back home. You turn around and you see third, fourth, fifth person. You see them getting high fives from their family members. They might not be as high as you, but they're content. They're satisfied. They're happy. They might not be rich, but they're happy. They got their family. They have what really matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, Brian, I ask you the deepest question of the bunch so far. What is that really matters? What makes a person happy?
I'm so happy you asked me this question. But before I even like delve deep into that one, I just want to just like add my 2, 3, 4 cents on what you just said. Like, damn, bro, give Tevin a round of applause one time. Okay, that's enough. He doesn't deserve that much. Anyway, so basically, when someone like is not succeeding as much as someone else, they recognize that okay, I didn't get what I wanted. So instead of just being all sad, let me start focusing on what I'm grateful for. That's why Tevin said in some third world countries that aren't as developed with bare technology and iPhone 44s in 2 months after the iPhone 43,
As a slow buy.
like that there is a realization with those people living in those kind of countries in those kind of situations that they have to realize that okay, I don't want to be sad, but I don't have the money or the funds right now to live this flashy, super amazing lifestyle. So I gotta stop focusing on what I don't have and start focusing on what I do have, and that is my familial love. My best friend that has never left me by my side since I was the age of 2 years old. My dog that has always been a loyal person, that more loyal than my friends at middle school. I don't know. Or just all of these things that I'm grateful for. The mailman that always says hi with a smile, no matter how crazy this country and the city is. So like these little grateful things that they just implanted into their medulla oblongata, they did not they held onto that, they cherished it like it was a newborn baby, bro. So they cherished that and they held onto that. That's why when you see them, they are happy, they are more internally happy and more gratefully happy than some people who just have money and that's it. They're just a shell walking around with a bunch of paper. But the other people, they don't have that much money, but they have a lot more things inside. So which in turn kind of transitions, it's bad segue, to the last question. What makes a person happy? Bro, have you guys not been listening to the podcast? Your FAMPS, your foundation of life, financial. Not only is it a job, but it's also what will make you what will make you get money. You know what I mean? So financial is not just a job, it's what will also help you get money in the future. School helps you get money in the future. YouTube helps you get money in the future. Engineering helps you get money in the future. Whether it's a school system, an entrepreneurial system, a artistic system, a this system, a that system, if it makes you money, then that will allow you to live a more comfortable life. Just to live the bare minimum of having a roof over your heads, food in your mouth, and a clean body. That's the bare minimum: hygiene, shelter, and food. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of if that's what if that's what humans need: food, shelter.
You don't need hygiene.
We need
No,
hygiene. I
like
know.
I'm being serious. Like all you need to live is food, water, and oxygen.
Okay.
The rest is just extra.
Let's get extra. Let's just get to the nitty gritty. Financially, you have to do what you got to do to put yourself in a position to at least get food, water, and oxygen. Food, water, and oxygen. That's the bare minimum just to survive. Just to survive. If you want to live lavish and get a building or an apartment, hey, you do you. But my friend, all you need to survive, to be content, to live on this planet is food, water, oxygen. Then you got to focus on who you surround yourself with. You got to focus with your friends. Who are you surrounding with the right friend group? Are you surrounding yourself with the right church friend group, the right work friend group? You be a part of a lot of clubs and stuff, and you be realizing that every single extracurricular club you be with toxic people. Man, this leadership club is pretty toxic. Man, this arts club is pretty toxic. Man, this origami club is pretty toxic. All these people you're talking to is origami. All these people you're talking to is all toxic people, which in turn makes you what? the average of who you hang out, which is toxic. So you need to be able to surround yourself with people that are uplifting, that are supportive, that are understanding, that are funny, because comedy is gold. And and just surrounding yourself with people who like you for you. And with family, that gets a bit tricky, but more like nonetheless, your family needs to be there for you, just like how you need to be there for them. You need to be able to put you guys need to be able to put yourself in a position where you guys were born together. You guys didn't choose each other. You guys were born together. Some are through blood, others are through step stuff, but you guys are together. Whether it's because of a piece of paper or because of blood, you guys are together, and you guys need to make this work because you guys are are your foundation. Your, like, if we talking just like primal instinct of what a person is, like human being is, they take care of their family, they take care of their loved ones. You guys need to be there for each other when your child or your mother, your father, your brother, your sister are struggling in one thing. You need to comfort them, you need to be there for them. So you need to surround yourself with people that love you for you, that support you, that cherish you, that uplift you, that make you laugh on your sad days, that listen to you, that do all these things that make you feel valued and respected. So not only are you doing what you can to make yourself survive, you're surrounding yourself with people that you love, you're surrounding yourself with people that you admire and that respect you for you as a human. You also put yourself in a position where even though I don't have this and that, you got to focus on what you're grateful for. Just like what we said earlier, don't focus on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Because if you focus on what you do have, you can strengthen that to a higher level of love and just love and admiration for it, that you just forget about what you don't have. I used to want to have so many different clothes and shoes and all these things right now, but I know where my path is going. I know I'm going to make more money to get that. So let me just be grateful for what I do have and make do with what I do. So now when I see people looking all flashy and fancy and new shoes and new this, I'm like, man, I don't even care because I know I'm going to be there. I'm living amongst my means. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on something that I don't have. So focus on what you do have and adopt a gratitude mindset. Take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Eat, eat. Like, you need to eat, drink water, breathe in the
Breathe,
oxygen,
and that's it.
breathe. Stop holding your breath. Breathe. Breathe. And
Oh,
spiritually, man, like, you gotta have faith. And I feel like once you have gratitude instilled into your brain, the faith will come because you are having that, like, you came to that realization that I don't need something else right now. I'm grateful for what I do have, so I can be patient for what I don't have. I can be patient to get what I don't have. And once you just kind of put all of that fence together, you try to get the money to survive. You try to surround yourself with people that you love. You try to instill a mindset that's filled with gratitude and love and just respect for yourself, no matter what insecurity you have. Again, you breathe, 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 because if you don't breathe, you know what happens. And you gotta have faith, because if you don't, if you're not patient to get what you need, then you're gonna drive yourself insane, and then you're gonna be like those people who didn't have any patience, who started telling a different narrative and got themselves a part of some things that they now regret till this day, or they just don't regret it because they haven't realized it yet. So put yourself in that position to feel a genuine amount of happiness, of fulfillment in things that make you happy and things that you enjoy. And if you don't even know what you enjoy, you gotta try stuff out. You don't know if you don't like green peas until you try green peas. Yeah, I said it. I'm not taking it back. I said it out there. Green peas.
anyway,
But you gotta do
anyway,
what you gotta do to live your life.
yeah. I think there's several factors to what makes a person happy.
Yep.
Um, that I want to research. I think these are, backed up by some science, some studies, right? Saying, let's me just list out some of the factors: social relationships, temperament, right? Money, society and culture, and positive thinking, age, and another one is marriage. Like from a different website, and marriage is equivalent to social relationships, right? Money is there as a factor, but money was shown to have the smallest increase in happiness. It's different to, attribute a number to happiness, but they would do surveys and blah 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 and try to attribute a score to how well a person was, and then they would define that as happiness. Money has the lowest increase in score. Therefore, sure, does money make you happy? Eh, kinda, but it's not gonna give you true happiness. You're not gonna be satisfied just off of money. The thing that makes you the happiest is what we've been touching on: those social relationships, those connections, right? Then next is your mindset, right? How you feel about things, how healthy your mind is. Those are the type of things that'll make you happy. And with that being said, I feel like we've given you some interesting points. I recommend you do your own research, on what makes you happy, your own soul searching,
Yep.
or the equivalent to whatever you believe so that is. I don't know. But just look within your own look into your own mental well-being, figure out what you need.
Exactly. See, this right here, this episode is the start of plenty and plenty more beautiful, inspiring, informative, motivational content to come. Season 2, we are going crazy. I'm telling you, we are going to make sure if we're not, you can page us during the podcast, not even after, during the podcast.
Not me. Page me after.
Oh my gosh, so petty. Anyway, but again, like we are trying to do our best to make sure that you guys are truly given the best form of content ever from yours truly, because 2020 and just life has just changed everybody's outlook on everything, change everybody's emotions on a lot of things. Because again, like we said before in another podcast, a lot more people are on social media more than ever. A lot more people are bringing in their 2 cents more than ever. A lot more people are frustrated about some people's opinions more than ever. And there's a lot more just chaos going on in the world. And we want to take that chaos, put it into a ball, hug it, bring some love into it, and put it out into the world and change it and change the world for the better. So it takes one step at a time, one podcast at a time, one episode at a time, one piece of content at a time. But nonetheless, thank you for tuning into another episode of Unlocking Your Potential Excellence. I learned some stuff. I hope Tevin learned some stuff as well.
Oh, my fault.
Who else would I be talking to?
Like it's weird. I hear my name and I'm like, should I talk? Should I say something?
What?
I don't know. My fault. Did I learn something? I much just talked about stuff that I learned. Confirming my original opinions on things.
Frustration. No, nonetheless, don't forget to like this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating, because we're on all social platforms. Depending on what you're listening.
4.5.
Don't give them ideas. Well, actually, I did give them an idea, but give them the 5-star idea instead. Anyway, support Potential Excellence even more by becoming a Patreon member. Patreon.podbean.com/UYPE. That was so close. Almost messed up. But yeah, support Potential Excellence everywhere on Patreon, filled with exclusive deals ranging from $5 to $50 a month. If not, then you can share this podcast to anyone in the world. Anyone, no limits. I challenge you to share this podcast. I challenge you to like it, to give us your 2 cents, to come on this podcast, or tell someone to come on this podcast to have a beautiful discussion, because you would think that virtual podcast we would have more guests because people wouldn't have to travel, but it seems like people don't like us. But hopefully,
it's probably me, Star.
Watch it not be me or you, but it's just Zoom.
Crazy.
or it's just Microsoft Teams or any other online platform, or maybe that's an excuse to just cover up because they actually hate us. Wait a minute, hold on. Before I even tell a whole different narrative, see what I did there? Because it was supposed to be a joke, but it didn't look like he was laughing. Hopefully the people.
Huh? Oh, me?
He didn't even hear the joke. That is so crazy.
I heard you. It wasn't funny, and I thought you were doing a thing. I don't know.
That is so
I just
crazy.
I didn't want to associate myself with something that was like that trash. I just took a step back and like I'll let him do it himself. He'll figure it out.
And with that being said, please stay tuned for more season 2 content, and never forget that you have the potential to be excellent. I'm looking at you, straight at you, not you. Talking about the good people all around the world.
My fault.
Oh yeah, people listening on the audio, I'm pointing right at you. So just literally point to yourself as if I'm talking to you, and never forget that you have the potential to be excellent. And subscribe to the Unforgettable Journey. Fade out. Woo! 2019, we started something real special. Working hard every day to reach another level. I know it's evident, you feel that excellence. Just bring it all out and don't be hesitant. See, you're so wonderful in every single way. On a mission to be great, so move with no delay. Every single day you wake up, you're a king and queen. Shake it off, claim your crown, cause you're royalty.